Hey, folks. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Oopscast. This is your co-host, Grant Ryan.
And your co-host, Kishan Desai.
And today we got ourselves a jam-packed episode where we're going to talk about Miami defeating Milwaukee Bucks 4-1 in the semifinals of the Eastern Conference playoffs. We're going to talk about Giannis' future and also the MVP debate between Giannis and LeBron. Then we're going to move on to coaches as Billy Donovan parts ways with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And to conclude the episode, we're going to talk about the newly acquired Brooklyn Nets head coach, Steve Nash. And before we tip things off here today, it is 9/11. It's a very sad day. So me and Kishan would like to show our respects and give a moment of silence for those who got affected and for those who, passed away.
All right. It was definitely a sad time. There are all families who are still affected by this horrific accident. And I just wish to those families who are still grieving for their loss, I hope that they're doing well, and I hope that they can get through this loss in the best way possible. And
Definitely.
I hope that the ones who died, the victims of 9/11, I hope their souls are resting in peace right now.
Definitely.
Well, let's get on a more positive note and start by talking about the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler and the boys, the squad. Just this team is so phenomenal, man.
Dude, it's like the Miami Heat played like the Milwaukee Bucks were the 8th seed. They basically showed themselves up, hey, we're the number 1 seed, not you guys. It's crazy. Like Jimmy Butler and his squad just came and crushed the Milwaukee Bucks. With them having only two All-Stars, Goran Dragic and Jimmy Butler. The rest are just great role players who do their job. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, but let's start off by talking about their leader, Jimmy Butler, man. This guy
Oh, man.
has seen a lot. I mean, the dude came from poverty. His dad abandoned him. His mom kicked him out of the house because she didn't like the way he looked, which is so fucked up. And then he stayed at a friend's house. The friend's mom practically adopted him. He was sleeping on the couch. He did. He played basketball in junior college. Then finally went to Marquette. And then his new journey started in the NBA. But that's not like an easy journey he had. It was a struggle.
Oh, definitely. Other players like Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, or, Russell Westbrook, those are top picks. And, their routes were much easier than them. Not trying to, troll on them or anything, but, I'm just giving out examples of, top players who were drafted in the top 5 NBA draft picks.
Of course,
Anyways,
dude. Wiggins is playing like shit. So I mean, why you can't? You cannot cut him slack. But yeah.
yeah, their routes were much easier than JB's, and he had to go through a lot, He was homeless at age 13. That's really sad, but hey, he worked his way up to getting paid $30 million a year, which is
Deserves it.
crazy.
Deserves it by all means.
Yes, definitely. Put some respect into his name. That guy's crazy. That guy's good.
He's a motherfucking dog. Like the dude is
You
a
couldn't have said it
killer on
better.
the floor. He's a
Definitely.
killer on the floor. He
He
doesn't
averaged
care if. Go
he
ahead.
averaged 23.4 points per game in the series against Milwaukee, against one of the better defensive teams in the NBA, having players like Brook Lopez or Giannis Antetokounmpo or a physical built player like Eric Bledsoe. Like, you kidding me right now? It's crazy.
It is crazy, man. But it's not even just Jimmy Butler, man. Come on, you gotta look at his supporting cast. Let's talk about Idris Bam Adebayo. That
Oh,
dude.
man. The dude averaged 17.2 points per game and 12 rebounds. It shows that Jimmy Butler is not the only effective player on the court. It's also Bam Adebayo as he's showing his presence and showing everybody as to what he is worthy of.
And definitely Hassan Whiteside leaving that team was a present in disguise because Bam Adebayo is balling the fuck out. He's averaging
Yes.
12 rebounds in this Milwaukee series, and he's a great physical center. But it's not just he's physical and he's a tenacious rebounder. He's also got great footwork for a big guy.
He's a very dominant player. He's just proving that in and out as to why he's one of the better players in the NBA, the rising stars. And this guy's already been an all-star this year.
Yeah.
And he just keeps proving it as to what he's more worthy of. And he gained my respect for sure.
And
Like
speaking of,
at
mhm.
first in his rookie year, I was like, bro, like who is this guy? Like, what is he doing in the NBA? But he's proven out that, hey, I'm Bam Adebayo. Nice to meet you. I'm gonna show you who I am, and he did it.
He might have been a third option on that Kentucky team with De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk, but he's proving that he's better than the both of them right now.
Definitely.
And dude, speaking of other young players, man, come on, are we gonna just skip over Tyler Harrell like that?
Oh, the dog, the
He
mini version of Jimmy Butler,
pure shooter, pure shooter. That man is
and another Kentucky player, by the way.
another Kentucky player. Yeah, I mean John Calipari. Obviously, like he made players like Anthony Davis and
Kentucky
DeMarcus
knows
Cousins.
what players they're getting.
They're making some players, man. But no, dude, Tyler Hero, he's legit coming out as a hero on a team amongst villains. Am I right
Straight
or am I
up.
right? Yeah.
He's literally a hero, dude. Whenever the clutch time comes, that guy's there. He's not
he's
in ghost mode.
he's banging three after three. I mean, like, yeah, like his player comparison and like his inspiration was Devin Booker, and it's starting to like come evident. Like he kind of plays like him too, but he's also got this mentality, dog mentality, like Jimmy Butler. And I think it's perfect that at a young age and at a young in his like career stages, he's got Jimmy Butler as a mentor.
That's yeah. You know, I would want someone like Jimmy Butler to be my mentor. Like, couldn't I ask for any other better mentor than Jimmy Butler? He's he's getting him stronger mentally and physically because Jimmy Butler's a very like he's a emotionally a very strong person. Like he's not afraid to fight anybody like T.J. Warren or these other big players, for instance. Like he's
He,
teaching Tyler Hero that hey, don't be afraid of anybody. Play your game and show who you are. Make a statement. Just like Bam Adebayo, I'm pretty sure he teaches him the same stuff. Make a statement, show who you are, and show that dog in you.
dude, he's got that Mamba mentality, dude. Like he's got ice in the veins. He feeds off what the hater says, and like he turns that into good stats, and he turns those stats into a winning record.
That yeah, straight up,
Hmm.
straight up. Like that's why Miami's making a statement and showing like, hey, like maybe we're the fifth seed, but we're playing like the first seed.
Put some
And
respect on Jimmy Bucket's name.
speaking of good players like them, I want to bring up another player, Goran Dragic.
He's underrated as hell. I mean, yeah, this regular season he wasn't playing like how he would normally play. But to be fair, there's so many new scoring options on that team. He took a step back. He took a back seat as a six man in the regular season. But when they needed him the most, he came in clutch. He was dropping points when they really needed him, and time in and time out, he's proven that his elusiveness and his IQ as a basketball player and as a point guard is on par. He's a perfect member of that team.
Dude, a European player like him is just showing that hey, American players aren't the only ones who can ball up. We Europeans can ball out too. So put
Hmm.
some respect into our names as well.
And
Like
I
if it
was
wasn't for him, if it wasn't for him, like maybe Miami would have had a little struggle against Milwaukee, just a little. But with
yeah,
having a player
yeah.
like him, it adds that ingredient to show that, we're gonna play as a team and I'm gonna show you who I really am as a point guard.
And I mean, it's crazy. I was gonna say earlier, it's crazy to think both him and Eric Bledsoe were both the Phoenix Suns point guards at a point like together, and now they
Yeah,
both face against each other. And Goran Dragic got the better of his former teammate.
dude. Eric Bledsoe, man.
Yeah,
So like
I don't even know.
speaking of the series, let's move on to Giannis's future. Like we're talking about Eric Bledsoe and like what they can do as a team, but he's just showing that he's overrated and Giannis deserves better. Like the only thing that Eric Bledsoe shows is his physicality, his muscles, but he's not using this. He's only using this, which is why he's not succeeding as an NBA player. I feel like he's very overrated. Like he's not playing team ball. He's just not doing anything correctly. He's not playing fundamental basketball. And that's why I feel like if the Milwaukee Bucks want to succeed and if they want Giannis to be happy with this organization moving on forward, first thing I'm doing is trading Eric Bledsoe.
No, I agree with you, man. I mean, if they want to keep Giannis, trade Eric Bledsoe. Where would I trade Eric Bledsoe? OKC is the spot. Chris Paul is the perfect point guard for this team. I always
Yeah,
thought that, you know, Giannis needs a playmaker. I always thought Ricky Rubio or Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul obviously is the better point guard here. I mean, Ricky Rubio is great too, but Chris Paul would be the perfect point guard for this Bucks system. I think that's the type of floor general that they need, and that's the type of player Giannis could thrive with. He could come on. Chris Paul's made all his big men better. I mean, look at Danilo Gallinari and Steven Adams. Then before that, Clint Capella. Before that,
And
Blake Griffin
Dort.
and DJ.
Look at Dort's
Huh?
Dort, too.
Yeah, and Lou Dortz too. I mean, he was a wing player, but still, man.
He's
Chris
a big man,
Paul.
too. He plays the four at times, too. But my point is, the kid
hmm
from Montreal, he's developed a lot thanks to Chris Paul, thanks to his veteran presence
Chris
and
Paul.
teaching him.
Chris Paul knows how to make his players better. And speaking of making players better, how about trade probably Brook Lopez to the Indiana Pacers for Miles Turner? And obviously, I know this is not going to be just Brook Lopez. You're going to create a package centered around him, but get Miles Turner onto the Milwaukee Bucks. I think he'd be the perfect center next to Giannis, man. Uh, Obviously, he has underperformed with the Indiana Pacers for a while. We're like, oh yeah, this guy's got potential. He'll be good. I mean, we can't just continuously saying that until he gets into his 30s. Not that he is already. He's not in his 30s, but yeah. I think Miles Turner just needs to change the scenery. I think he'd be a great fit in a high-powered defense and a high-powered offense. I think Mike Budenholzer could help Miles Turner be able to stretch the floor more and be that stretch big, because at times he's proven to be a great stretch, a great two-way big. Kind of like a Jaren Jackson type.
Dude, Mike Budenholzer, by the way, ever since he landed at Milwaukee, he constructed this team to becoming one of those more prominent teams. And record-wise, they were the best team in the NBA, I believe. Is that correct?
No, easily for the past, not just this year, even last year too.
Yes. Ever since with this presence, it's showing that, although they're not succeeding well in the playoffs, this is the best regular season team. And all they need maybe is just showing that, hey, maybe we need a couple more pieces. Maybe ship up Brook Lopez, Eric Bledsoe, get rid of like Robin Lopez or these other veterans who are not doing well. And you can construct this team to becoming one of those more prominent teams. I feel like they're
Yeah,
just missing a couple of pieces, and Chris Paul could be one of them for sure.
I'm telling you, man, Mike Budenholzer is proving that the Popovich coaching system works. I mean, obviously, we had clowns like Jim Boylan and Brett Brown. I'm sorry. I know I'm talking about these two coaches for the past 2 to 3 episodes, or past 2 episodes. But man, I can't stress the fact that like those two are clowns that came out of the Popovich system, while Mike Budenholzer, he actually is like a gem of a coach, like who was an
Oh,
assistant coach.
definitely.
He's
Definitely.
he's definitely probably a top 5 coach in the NBA right now.
Look what he did with the Atlanta Hawks.
He took a team of side players and probably borderline all stars and turned them into a 60-win team, and with 4 all stars. Even though they lost to LeBron, got swept in the Eastern Conference Finals, they still made it out. They still play. They regular as far as regular season goes, they were the best team.
Oh, definitely. Like, look what he's doing with, like I said, look what he's doing in Milwaukee. Every team in the NBA would want a coach like him. Definitely.
Exactly, straight up, bro.
And if Giannis were to leave, where would you see him go?
Bro, come on. There's a European powerhouse going out west in the Southwest Division. We're talking about the blue, the team that wears blue, man. The European dominant machine, the Dallas Mavericks. Come on. I think
Oh my
adding another European player to that team, it call me crazy, man. That would be the perfect recipe for hell in the West.
Might as well wear a Dallas Mavericks jersey because no one's gonna get past that team.
No, no one's gonna get. I'm sure there are gonna be so many bandwagons that'll just pop out
Oh,
if Giannis were to join
definitely.
that team.
Definitely.
Yeah, I know there are like talks about Giannis joining the Golden State Warriors or the Toronto Raptors, but I think Dallas is a better situation, man.
Or
It is.
Miami.
Okay, but that come on. Then there's already a
Dude,
certain
think about it.
someone.
But think about it. If you have him and Jimmy Butler on the same team with Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero and Andre Iguodala, that wouldn't only be an offensive team that can get you over 120 points per game with all those people combined in the roster, but also you're going to have dogs that they're going to put fear into other players' eyes and tell them, oh, shit, we're really about to play Giannis and Jimmy Butler. It's not going to be an easy night for the opponents. You understand?
That's true, but remember, there's also a player's reputation on the line. And Giannis, like, if you'll pull this, he'll be compared to the likes of Kevin Durant, because remember, Kevin Durant lost to the Golden State Warriors and blew a 3-1 lead, and then later that offseason, he joined that team. Giannis lost to a underdog team, and if he joins them, it's going to be the same thing. And
But they don't have four. They don't have three All-Stars. They only have one All-Star. I mean, Goran Dragic was an All-Star too, but he's not living up to the hype of Stephen Curry or Klay Thompson. They just have, it's only like two All-Stars. It's not like he's joining Stephen Curry or anybody.
But still, man, I mean, if you join the team that you lost to, I mean, that's gonna just look petty. I mean, like if Kobe had joined the Detroit Pistons after losing to them, I mean, come on, he would be like, he would get so much more hate. Well, I think if you get so much disrespect
for him for sure.
Yeah, but I think if Giannis, that's the reason why I think Giannis should join the Dallas Mavericks. Come on, that's a young and up-and-coming team. Just with Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis, they were able to give the Clippers a hell of a match. I mean, the Clippers look like they're about to make easy work of the Nuggets, but before that, the Mavericks were, they were just like giving them like a challenge. I think if you add Giannis to that roster, bro, and possibly even Goran Dragic, if he joins that team, because I think he is a free agent next year. If both those players join that team, oh man, that's a European show right there.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of an MVP, there's MVP debates going on between LeBron and Giannis. They're saying, oh, Giannis should win. Oh, no, LeBron should get the MVP. And I believe that LeBron should win the MVP. Not saying because I'm a Laker fan, but come on.
You sure about that? You sure about that, Grant?
Oh, I'm 100% sure, bro. 100% sure. The guy's 35, averaging about 26.7 points per game, 10.2 rebounds per game, and 9 assists per game. That's almost a triple-double. And he's playing in a rocky Western Conference. That's not an easy conference to play in. If we were talking about the Eastern Conference, you're going to go up against Orlando or Atlanta or the Knicks, the broken Knicks. But come on, the guy's 35 and he's averaging these numbers.
So are we going to just ignore the fact?
And they're the first seed.
But the way you're describing it, it's like you're saying that LeBron is carrying the team. Come on, LeBron.
No, I'm not saying he's carrying the team. I'm just saying for his age, he's putting up these stats.
Don't get me wrong.
He's a team player too, and they're in first seed. I'm not saying he's carrying the team, but with these numbers, 35 years old, remember MVP is all about individual performance, not team performance. The guy,
dude, don't get me wrong.
You guys are gonna say that I'm crazy, but believe me, if you look at the stats and you look at the way he plays in the Western Conference, you guys would understand.
Okay.
Now, Kissan, you don't think LeBron's gonna be MVP, right?
Just listen, man. Just listen.
I'm all ears.
You're all ears. Okay. Just listen. You keep saying that LeBron played in the West, bro, but you got to understand there's a reason why this is called regular season MVP. In a regular season, in all 82 games, you don't just play in the West. You play both conferences. Giannis also played in both conferences, all 82. Well, obviously not all 82 games this time around because it was a broken season. But Giannis, what's it called? You're talking about LeBron stats. Come on. Giannis put up 29.5 points, which is fifth in the NBA. 13.6 rebounds, second in the NBA. He led second in rebounds in the NBA. And 5.6 assists. And on top of that, his player efficiency rating, his PER, was like 31.94, which was number one in the whole league. You're telling me that because of that, Giannis shouldn't be winning MVP?
You said that they play what Eastern Conference teams? Yeah, you're right. But 36.5% of the games in the regular season is they play against Eastern Conference teams for LeBron. And same thing as Giannis. 36.5% of Milwaukee games are up against the Western teams. So they don't see much of the Western teams. They mostly see the Eastern teams. And it's going to be easy because you're going to go up against Taj Gibson, the old dude, or, Dwayne Dedman. Like, of course, Giannis.
All right. Tell me this. Who's LeBron's other option?
AD.
And who's Giannis's other option?
Chris Middleton. The guy's he's a great player. Are you kidding me?
But yeah, he's a great player. But compared to Anthony Davis, are you gonna still tell me that?
It doesn't matter. Look, the stat sheet shows. The stat sheet shows. This is an individual performance. This is just an individual performance. It's not about team performance. It's not about AD. It's about individual performance. The guy's. I'm going to keep saying it. The guy's 35 freaking years old, and he's putting up these numbers.
Giannis had a better season. Giannis had a better season, bro. What do you mean?
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Okay, we'll see. we're gonna see who they give it to.
Yeah, are you gonna
We'll
start
see who
crying
they
again?
gives it to.
Are you gonna pull another Anthony Davis and start tearing up if Giannis wins?
Wait.
Oh, this man's crying again. Oh no.
You know,
Oh
I'm not
man.
gonna cry. I know LeBron's gonna win. I'm totally confident.
Are you sure about that? You sure about that, man? I don't think so. Hey, Grant and I will always debate like this. It's all fun and games between us. But why don't you guys tell us what do you think? You know?
Yeah.
Put it down in the comments, or we're gonna probably put up a poll after this video comes out. Tell us who do you think should be winning MVP? And speaking of these awards, by the way, congratulations to Ja Morant and Montrezl Harrell for winning
Oh,
Rookie
two
of the Year. And
dogs.
yeah,
Those are two dogs right there. Are you kidding
yeah,
me?
easily, bro, easily. It was almost a unanimous vote. Who the fuck fucked it up for not making a unanimous
An
Rookie of the Year?
imbecile. An imbecile. That's all I gotta tell you. Probably the same dude who voted for Drummond as Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah,
With all due
real
respect for
crazy.
Zion, the guy's gonna ball out throughout his whole career.
Yeah, no,
But
and
the guy
he's
played.
injured. The dude was injured for more than half the season. I'm not saying Zion's a bad player. Don't like start attacking me, guys. But I'm just saying Zion's not a bad player. But come
Oh
on,
yeah,
John Morant
he's not.
proved this season why he was the Rookie of the Year and showed that he's an absolute dog, or on his team an absolute bear.
Definitely. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're well, not Montrez, but John Morant's definitely a future MVP candidate.
Of
Let me
course,
tell
yeah.
you.
Montrez is good too, though. Montrez was playing great, and
Oh,
he's still playing great.
Montrez is a dog. Like that guy's.
That's another player who came from nothing and became something.
Yeah, and John Morant, same thing.
Same John Morant too. Like not much recognition, and now he's like getting all this media attention.
He was asking for a tryout in Murray State, and the coach, lucky for him, he gave him a chance to show who he is. And look at that, he's a Rookie of the Year now, and you almost carried that team to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. No, yeah, dude. But then yeah, and obviously we talked about all these players. How about let's start talking about coaches, man? Recently Billy Donovan parted ways with the OKC Thunder. What do you think about that, man?
Bro, like I'm not a huge fan of Billy Donovan. Although he had a .61% winning record, which is pretty good. He won more than half the games he's coached as a head coach for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He had his record for this season was 44 wins and 28 losses. That's not bad. He took them to the playoffs with having minimal All-Stars, only Chris Paul. They played very terrific. But throughout his years, he had players like Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Carmelo,
Kevin
and
Durant.
Kevin Durant. Well, yeah, it was only for one season, but yes, the reason he was successful was because of these players, I believe.
Oh yeah, for a while, and these players are kind of uncoachable too.
Yes, and if it wasn't for these players, like I don't see him getting much success. And if Chris Paul wasn't on that roster, they definitely wouldn't be a good team. Although they have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Danilo Gallinari.
Dude, the ensemble cast. Come on, yeah. Outside of Shai, you got Danilo Gallinari, Lou Dortz, you got Dennis Schroeder, you got Steven Adams. I wish I could say the same thing for Terrence Ferguson, but each time I look at his stats, it's always 0 points. Maybe it's just me.
No, you're like that guy only had 2 good games. His dunks against the Lakers 2 seasons ago, and like maybe another game, but like Terrence Ferguson's overrated. He's playing he's showing to everybody that he's an overrated player. That's how people view him today. Like me, for instance. When I see Terrence Ferguson, I'm like, yeah, bro, this guy's not gonna do shit. Like he's probably do like 1 or 2 crazy dunks, but that's it.
And Grant thinks a lot too, so I mean, come on. Just saying. Sports philosopher right there.
Yeah, but Billy, I mean, he'll definitely get hired for sure, though. What do you think, Kishan? Do you think he's going to get hired as well?
Oh yeah, of course. I think I'm not saying I might not personally like him as a coach, but that doesn't mean he's not a competent coach. I mean, come on. If Jim Boylan can coach, I mean, this guy could definitely coach. And speaking of Jim Boylan, I think I think Billy Donovan should go to the Bulls. I think he'd be a great fit on the Bulls roster.
Yeah, I feel like he can construct the offense to be a better offensive team. He has Zach LaVine, Kobe White, Larry Markkinen, Wendell Carter Jr. Like I feel like he can construct that offense.
Cristiano Felicio.
Man, I wish I was him. Getting paid $8 million to sit on that damn bench at the
Dude, I
United.
wish I wish I was Luol Deng, bro. I get paid $17 million to sit on that damn bench.
Bro, yeah, man. I'm free, man. Just pay me up and I'll sit on that bench. I'll
Yeah.
warm it up for you.
NBA, if you're looking for bench warmers, we're right here. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, anyways, yeah, Billy Donovan will sure. Like, I would like to see him on the Pacers too, though.
I think he could be a great fit with the Pacers too. Yeah, he's got that like grit and grind style, Loki. So I could see him
Yeah.
like being a good coach for the Pacers. Yeah, I mean, even though he did terribly utilize Demonis Sabonis in OKC, I think maybe he could learn from that mistake and like utilize him better in Indiana if he gets that coaching job.
Oh, definitely. He
Mm-hmm.
can definitely build that team to dethroning the Eastern Conference. Like he'll definitely make that team successful if he does get hired by the Pacers or even the Bulls or even any other team.
Speaking of
But
a team that has top potential to be the top team in the Eastern Conference, recently the Brooklyn Nets just signed two-time MVP, Hall of Famer point guard Steve Nash as the new head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. And I gotta say, this is a power move.
I was actually shocked. Like, not saying that he didn't deserve it, but like there was these other coaches like Nate McMillan or these other coaches, or Chauncey Billups. But when I woke up, I look at my phone. It says that Steve Nash was hired as the Brooklyn Nets head coach, and I was like in shock. I'm like, what? Steve Nash? But then I was like, why would they do this? But then remember, the guy was the Golden State Warriors player developmental coach. He
Exactly.
developed KD, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, and all these other great players. And to be fair, well, not to be fair, but KD is on the Brooklyn Nets, and he did coach him in Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes
Exactly.
sense.
Exactly.
It literally makes sense as to why they would hire Steve Nash.
And come on, there's another underlying reason too. I mean, this guy Steve Nash not only was a two-time MVP and the Hall of Fame point guard, he was also playing because the NBA is more offense dominated now. He was playing in an offense before like that offense became so popular. So I think he could utilize his experience from the 7 seconds offense and use his experience as a point guard, help Kyrie Irving out a little. I think obviously as a Celtics fan, I do not like Kyrie Irving that much. Like it was like a bad breakup when he left. With that
Yeah,
said, though, I think Steve Nash could definitely improve Kyrie's game, help him fix his mentality as a player too.
and not only he can make Kyrie Irving come back to becoming the All-Star Kyrie he was, but also he can develop Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, these
Mm-hmm.
guards, because he was an MVP guard.
Yeah,
He can teach these guys the fundamentals and how to become that MVP point guard that he was in the past.
possibly.
I definitely love this move. It shows that Brooklyn's going all out to get the trophy. I definitely love it.
I mean, love or hate KD, I'm actually excited to see him come to the Eastern Conference and actually ball out. I kind of want to see what that's going to look like.
Yeah, and he's close to home, Washington, D.C. He's pretty
Mm-hmm.
close there, so
Yeah,
it's
no.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It is cool, man. And with that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed our third episode of Oopscast. Be sure to drop a like and comment down below on what you think. Tell us if you agree or disagree on any of our points, and let us know what you guys want to see. As usual, you could DM us on our IG page. Links, all that will be down in the description.
We're all open for arguments, baby. We're open
for arguments, suggestions, anything. Just but leave it as basketball related conversations. That's all. All right, guys. These are your hosts, Kishan Desayan,
Grant Ryan.
signing out.